Hello, and what I'd like to go over today is a champion tanking build. And this tanking build is pretty amazing, really, and pretty simple at the same time. Now let's go over the gear real quick, and then we'll work on the skills that I put points into. Now I just went with the two-piece featured set, and because that 4 set bonus is pretty amazing. Battle Frenzy decreases all incoming damage by 10% for 10 seconds. And why that is amazing is because you can get it down to 10-second cooldown, which means you have a permanent 10% damage reduction. Now if you look at the physical mastery, reduces damage taken from physical attacks by 60%, and my tactical 61%. I could get tactical up to 65, but I didn't want to put those points into the skill over here, as you could see. Or not that one. That one. Because I needed it over here. But anyways, so that adds up to 70% physical mitigation, or 70% physical damage reduction, and 71% tactical reduction, which is quite amazing if you ask me. So I have all 6 pieces, and I have them just simply major morales. I will upgrade them to tier 8 supreme essences, but they go to my warden first, of course. But I'll come back to my champion for sure, and that will increase my morale around 4,000 morale, I believe, or maybe it was 3,000. But regardless, that's pretty nice. It'd be about 44 or 45,000 morale when it's all said and done. And then for this, I kept some DPS, and then there we go. I added some critical and some more morale for the necklace. And I wanted to keep my critical defense as close to 10k as possible. But with my extra modifiers, 7% there, I'm over 50%, so that's real nice. That's all you want really, is 50% on there, at least. And then we continue with just the DPS. And then there is another, I put a ring with just the morale in it, both rings. And a standard pocket item. My weapons are built for DPS, but with the minus 20% Battle Frenzy cooldown, that helps out as well. Battle Frenzy, Legacy, and other than that, my weapon doesn't do a whole lot for me, except for, well, of course, the critical damage modifier is amazing, and the might. But then my rune does it quite a bit. The 50% Swift Strike power reduction is nice. The Blade Line AoE power cost is nice. And the Raging Blade, that adds a lot of DPS, and the Blade Wall adds a lot of DPS. I will eventually make tanking weapon and rune, but for now I need to focus on other characters first before I come back to champion tanking build. Okay, that's that for gear. Let's go over how I have this spec'd. Now I have most of the tanking spec built in here. I think I had to go 4 or else I couldn't unlock any more. I would go less for that because it just decreases the damage a little bit, which is nice with a lot of enemies, but I'd rather put that elsewhere, honestly. For that, I just had to put 1 into it. I probably wouldn't have. I'd save the point if I could. Same goes for the Vitality. I would save the point if I could. And then everything else is maxed except for Improved Dire Need. That is a nice emergency skill, but with the cooldown of 2 minutes, yeah, I just felt that it was okay to sacrifice that to get to what we really need, which is AoE skills. And here we are. I have Battle Frenzy. You want that, of course. That's important for the 10% damage reduction. And then you also want the Ardent Rage maxed, because that gives you a minus 30 Battle Frenzy cooldown, plus 3 to Fervor. Barbed Wall, I would max if I could. Maybe in the future when we get some more points, I could put some more points into that. Broad Sweep increases the number of area effect targets, which is great. It makes my Blade Wall have 10. My Raging Blade has 13. My Swift Blade has 8. You get where I'm going with this. It's awesome. My Horn of Champion, 11. My Horn of Gondor, 10. So there's a lot of AoE skills, which is great for tanking. My Raging Blade, of course, you got to have that. It's one of the main powerhouse skills you got to use. And improved Raging Blades to increase that awesome skill is obviously necessary. And this, again, this is one I would definitely max out if we had more points. If I had 4 more points, that's what I'd exactly put that into. For a 20% chance to restore 5% maximum morale. That's great. That's an amazing skill. Takes the pressure off with your damage reduction and your little life bleed or life restore chance here is pretty awesome. Makes you very survivable. Plus you got a bubble too, of course. Yeah, that's it. And I filmed just a tier 1 Dungeons of Dol Guldur, which that isn't no big deal. It's not a lot of damage in there. But I have done tier 2 Ruined City, and the troll was no problem. His maximum hit was about 25,000 K morale on me. And that's no big deal with 41K total, because he doesn't do it twice in quick succession ever, you know. So it's really nice. Handles the damage great, and is very versatile. The only lack that there is, which I wish we can get an extra force taunt, like this single target every 30-second one is nice, but I wish we can get a every 10-15 second AoE one. You know, it starts with 5, and then with our bonuses, maybe we'll get up, you know, with the, what is that called? The Broad Sweep. It'll increase it to 10 targets for a force taunt. Would be amazing, because sometimes that's been very useful. Like on the last boss of Ruined City, I think that's one of the biggest problems, is I don't have any AoE force taunt. So sometimes it would have too many ads on the healer or the DPS, and it would just be a wipe after that. So yeah, one more skill would make a champion one heck of a tank. Honestly, it is one heck of a tank, as long as you don't have to use AoE force taunt for anything. And I consider it a fully fledged tank, just as tough as a Guardian. You know, pretty versatile. Not quite as versatile as a Warden, but pretty nice. Well, thank you for watching. I hope this helped somebody. I'll have some more class videos later on when I get to them.